I'm John and welcome back to my Lair of Action Figures. So today it's Sunday, and like every Sunday it's going to be This Week in Action Figure News, and this one's going to be a special San Diego Comic-Con. So we're going to be talking about Hot Toys, and of course we're going to be talking about G.I. Joe. So without further ado, let's jump into it, and you will not want to miss this episode because there's a lot of pre-order information going up. So let's start by Hot Toys, and of course I wanted to put this countdown timer over here. Something is coming, and of course we know that Hot Toys is going to milk Avengers Doomsday like crazy. So for now this one hasn't popped up, but I really think it's funny that Hot Toys is announcing that they want to empty your wallet. Well, of course, let's continue with what they're going to be emptying our wallets with. So the first one I went with is a picture of the Hulk. So of course I did a full review of my thoughts on the new stuff that was announced for Comic-Con, and I have some other videos where I'm talking about some of the other products who are here, so if you want to go and check it out after watching this video, you can. So Hulk is $435, it's a totally seamless body, looks pretty good, and the fact that the trunks have a bit of a similarity with the ones from the first Avenger movie. If you missed out that Hulk, you may want to pick up this one because it could work also. So yeah, this is an interesting figure, also something for 2027. And I'm going to wait before picking this guy up because there's a lot of stuff I'm interested in, and I already have a lot of flex space going for 2027. And I'll be talking more to the end of the hot toy part of the video about something that Sideshow may want to take into consideration. So I did not find any pictures on Sideshow's website or Hot Toys' website regarding the new Punisher that they're doing for the brand new day, even if they didn't put the logo. Yes, this one is definitely coming home, and this one is at the price of suggested of $280. Now, continuing with some more of these games. So we have Luna over here. We're going to be talking about her afterwards. And then this one I didn't make a video on. So this is from some kind of solo leveling. Sung Jin Woo. I don't know who the hell he is. So if anybody in the comment section who follows the channel knows who he is, if you want to put it in for everybody else, including myself, and you want to educate me about it, I would be gladly to hear your stuff. But personally, $285 for this figure, even if there's little extra bits and pieces around here, I don't think it's justified. Of course, Marvel Rivals over here, $280. Also, yeah, that does put it a bit on a high price for not getting that much with the figures, but it looks like the figures are going up. So, of course, you figured out I'm not getting any of those figures. I'm not going to talk about the other ones. I have already done that. So here is our Marvel Rival over here, and again, like I said, $280 for this. It does feel a little bit steep. I cannot wait to get my hands on this one here, who's also one of my flex plays for 2027, and that's going to be coming into a major problem, and a lot of people may want to look out. So these guys, I didn't find any pictures, but the Kamen Riders both went up also for pre-order during the time of the San Diego Comic-Con, and all of these are at $285. Again, not my cup of tea, but I know that there's some people who follow the channel who give me a very interesting detailing about it, and I might go and check out some of the episodes that was kind of given forward as information, so I'm going to have a look, but not for me. So for now, definitely not going to be picking them up, and good job I'm not going in that direction. Continuing with more figures that I won't be picking up, even if I'm a huge fan of the Nolan trilogy of Batman, we have the Joker quarter scale. I don't understand why Hot Toys is continuing to try to promote this line. It goes in, out, there's no constancy with it, you don't know when you're getting new stuff, and suddenly you get something out of the blue. The Batman is still available. This Joker, the one they did before this one, is still available, and it's literally selling under suggest retail price and even the deluxe version of it. So again, I understand you have rooted hair, you have all this kind of stuff, but this should be a basic with any quarter scale figure that you're doing, that you should have rooted hair, that you should have this kind of more artisan version to it, due to the fact that you're still asking $605 for this figure, who is a pretty steep price for this figure. And as I said, all except maybe 1 or 2 figures or 3 figures from the quarter scale line have gone over the suggest retail price. All the others can be found on eBay under suggest retail price, and you still have to remember that you need to pay the money to eBay for the fees. So that puts it way under the 10% margin that Sideshow would impose you as a shop to be able to sell their products. So now moving on to Star Wars. So these guys haven't gone up for pre-order, but of course we have Embo, and of course I do hope that Hot Toys listens, because Embo is kind of a cool character. If you've been watching Clone Wars or even some of the other shows made by Dave Filoni, you're going to be knowing this character, and this character also from the exits that I've seen and in the cartoon comes with some kind of space dog, wolf or whatever it is, like creature, but I haven't seen it over here, so I'm wondering if they're going to do a deluxe version like they did with Cad Bane, where he comes with his robot, or you can get it without his robot. So continuing with some more figures from Hot Toys, I should put a full display. We are having another Mandalorian in quarter scale, and again, this one is kind of interesting due to the fact that it has the Pedro Pascal head sculpt. So I don't know if I'm going to pick up the Pedro head sculpt to put with the one I have. But again, Boba Fett didn't sell. I didn't purchase him. I missed it because the guy that I was who picked up my business sunk the business and went out of business, so I didn't get it. But I finally got it from Sideshow and bought $450 and got the Boba Fett for free. So this tells me quarter scale not working, but I do want to be able to get the head sculpt over here. That's going to be interesting. Continuing over here, who's the other part of the panel, we can see Embo, and of course you see that he has no dog. All of these have been already announced. So here is a closer look of our quarter scale Mandalorian. Yes, he looks good. It is nice to see some Beskar, some shininess into the armor, because this was a big problem with the 1/6 scale figure. They didn't get it right with the 2 first versions, then you had to buy the other version. So yeah, this is something who's always pretty neat. I'm kind of really curious to have a look at this figure from closer, because you can really see that there's a lot of fabric going on over here, and I wonder how that's going to affect the maneuverability of this figure. Continuing with quarter scale items, and we have the Babu Freaks and Baby Yoda's kind of speeder over here. And I don't understand why Hot Toys didn't do this in 1/6 scale, because they're trying to introduce these Babu Freaks. There are a lot of mechanics, Droid Smith, I think it is. Don't really care about them. Like I said, haven't seen the movie. I think they're kind of funny creatures, but again, it's like, oh, let's make something cute and cuddly, and yeah, they don't really do much. And we saw them, and there was the episode 9 of Star Wars, and then they put them back into the Mandalorian TV show. Still haven't seen the movie. I know it should be coming out sometime in August or September on Disney Plus, so that's when I'm going to be watching it. But again, a waste opportunity. If you're going to promote, give us so much stuff around Grogu and the Mandalorian, or I should say they're the way around the movie, why is this one not coming out in 1/6 scale? So, continuing with Star Wars, and this is going to be the last one, we do have a big part of quarter scale Han Solo. And again, I don't understand why you're not doing an artisan version of this figure. And again, you're trying out a Han Solo. You haven't made Star Wars figures in what? A few years from the original trilogy, I'm going to say like that. And suddenly you're showing us Harrison Ford out there. Now this one can be a bit tricky due to the fact that Harrison Ford is not getting any younger. And of course, if you're going to go into making quarter scales, it would be nice if you would tease us maybe a Chewbacca, maybe a Luke, Leia, or have at least the heroes of the Republic over there. It would make sense that you have the major characters of episode, of course, 4, but then it's going to say, well, then I have to make a Darth Vader 2.0, and it goes on over there. So yeah, sadly, I don't know if I'm going to pick it up, but I'm going to bid against Sideshow, and hopefully this one will be going on clearance like every quarter scale that they have, or nearly all of them. Now, going on to something that's going to cost me an arm and a leg, and this is, of course, the Alien franchise. So, of course, I have pre-ordered Ellen Ripley, so I took the artisan version. I was able to pre-order her, and, of course, that's another flex pay for 2027. So you can see I already have 3 artisan figures for 2027 who are going to be starting charge. I have the Clone Commandos, the 2 are going to be charging 2027, and they seem to be all going at the same time. So I'm suddenly going to have a huge invoice going out at every time of 2027 during the same period of time. And the Alien Queen is the same. So the Alien Queen, I did a quick check, it's $620. I know you can bring down the flex pay for it and get this kind of pretty low amount that you pay per month. But the problem is, if you have other figures, those are going to go towards it, and currently in FlexPay I have nothing left open. So it would be nice if Sideshow, you could say, hey, can you already start charging me the FlexPay on this, so that not everything falls at the same time, because I am sure that there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be really cut off guard, and they're going to say, oh shit, I forgot, I ordered too many figures, now I have to start canceling fees and all the stuff. Or you're going to have people say, oh, can you buy off my Ellen Ripley, or buy off this because I had my eyes who were bigger than my stomach, and I'm in the shit. Same goes for the power loader. There's nothing there. This is exactly the same power loader as the one I have that I have to go and find in storage, and of course put it up in shorts and make a quick show of it. But again, this is going to be another stuff. So you're going to have, what, 600 here. This is going to be a minimum of $400. There's no way that they're going to make it cheaper. There's a lot of weathering, who is not the case on the original. The original one was really squeaky clean. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of money, and you may want to watch out, because you might end up having a lot of money to pay, because there's a lot of stuff is out there, and your flex pays are not going through, and they're all going to go out at the same time. Now, finishing with the Hot Toys, I'm going to go on this figure over here. So of course these have already came out, but we got 2 versions of this guy. So we have the plastic hair with 2000 edition, and the artisan version with the real hair, also 2000. So that means there's going to be a total of 4,000 of these figures who are going to be made worldwide. Now the big problem is, I already said, what the hell is this? Why are they doing this? It's totally counterproductive, and it looks like it is totally counterproductive, because the artisan version, of course it's Sunday, this went up at the beginning of the week for pre-order, and they're still available on Sideshow's website. We're talking about both versions. Normally an artisan version sells out in the 24 to 48 hours after it came out. This one, well, still available. So that tells you everything you need to know about this franchise, and of course those are not going to sell that great. So yeah, be kind of curious to know. Anyway, let me know in the comment section, are you going after these guys over here, or did you pre-order them? Let me know in the comment section. Anyway, let's move on to Hasbro and G.I. Joe. So of course, G.I. Joe, the whole 2026 stuff, and as you can see, this is the picture that I used for my thoughts about it, and we have a lot to get into, so let's do it. So of course we had Sideshow, who went up for pre-order, who is currently sold out, who's a Walmart exclusive, and of course it is still available in Europe from what I saw. And of course we got this guy over here, who is of course the Cobra Range Viper, And I must say that it is a big surprise that this guy came out. But again, my big problem is the packaging. You know, you're making a packaging in one way, then you're making another packaging, repackaging. It's cool for the people who missed it and are not going to pay it about 80 $126 or something like that. I saw some of the prices go for it, not including shipping. So of course, if you can get some, that's pretty cool. But again, this packaging, changing packaging stuff is something that's not working at all for me, and one of the reasons why I'm going to start connecting these guys mint in box. Anyway, I'll be making a video about it, going into more details about it. But yeah, well, again, saying if you missed out, these are already sold out on Hasbro Pulse and also on Walmart. They're going to be getting some back sporadically, so keep your eyes open for it. The cool thing is, they really screwed over Europe. They did not release this guy in Europe, who I think is really a shame on the behalf of Hasbro, especially that this Yojo June was pushing really hard to say, hey, we want to get more European people aboard. So not the smartest move from Hasbro, and knowing those guys, not the last one that they're going to do like dumb decisions, and we're going to talk about it. So of course we have Lara Croft. Surprisingly, Lara Croft sold out pretty fast. I must say I'm kind of amazed that it sold out pretty fast. Again, it's packaged on a Retroline card. I don't understand why they went with it. I would have preferred to get one of the normal cards or maybe a deluxe box to have something to go with it and a bit more storytelling and some graphics on the side to do something a bit more than putting her in the retro line. I mean, this figure has nothing to do with a retro line figure. But again, it's Hasbro. They messed up the retro line, and yeah, not going to go any more further in it. Sadly, this figure is currently sold out and seems to be doing pretty well for a figure whose suggests retail price of $45. Now, this is everything who's going to be going up for pre-order, and I put them in order so you don't miss out. So take a pen, write down the info, see for where your time zone is so that you get it right and you don't miss out on it. So the first one who's going to be going up, and there's a few going up on Tuesday the 28th of July. We have of course Footloose, Mutt and Junkyard, and the Mad Marauders version, who are going to be the one going up. Then we're going to have also at the same time, going to have the three retro figures. Of course, Flash is cool. This figure has nothing to do in the retro line. This one either has nothing to do in the retro line due to the fact that this is the cartoon version and they're literally doing a 40th anniversary. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to talk about it more towards the end of the video. So yeah, that is something that is, yeah. I'm going to be making how Hasbro messed the retro line up really bad. So of course, the last item going up for the 28th of July, it's going to be the Crimson Snake armor that I do find funny because they call it Mars Military, who's the Destro one, and why would Destro go on to a Crimson version of this item? I don't understand. The colors do not match any of this would be Mars Industry, that would be Destro. This would be an Iron Grenadier, so we should have some black, some gold, and none of it is there. They went for some kind of Crimson suit, who's not even in the name of the packaging. So yeah, Hasbro, this one, I don't know. After it's going to be an Amazon exclusive. Personally, I'm still on the fence. I was expecting something more from what Big Man was talking about, how they were going to expand, how they were going to go into more Europe, and the fact of showing us the escape armor from the Iron Blood, from the Red Shadows, or the enemy, who would be the most exact way, makes sense. But this is just some kind of cheap repaint that they're doing, who is nothing better than Super 7. So yeah, again, you're giving a title to a figure, you're calling it a certain way, and the colors do not match the schemes of the ones that they're supposed to be. Now, over here I have the two San Diego Comic Con exclusive, and if you go to Hasbro Pulse, you're going to see that there's a timer. And sadly, I was hoping that I would not be willing to put another $50 to get my Hasbro Pulse membership renewed, but it's expiring before this day. So yeah, this is something that you want to go and check out. Put your alarm clock on, because you don't want to miss out on these guys, because these kind of guys go out for pretty crazy fast. And of course here we have the other one. So go and check out on Hasbro Pulse, see what's the timer, see what time it is, and then you will determine when it's going to be in your local area so that you don't miss out on these guys. Afterwards, on August 12th, we're going to be getting, because those are going on for August 10th, if I'm not mistaken. So we have Sergeant Slaughter, and looks like Hasbro did listen, or maybe started thinking more with the business hat on. We're going to have the Triple T going as a Pulse exclusive, like I said already in many of my videos. I think that they should continue to keep vehicles or big pieces like this exclusive to Hasbro Pulse, due to the fact that the shops like Target, Walmart or others do not care and are going to put those things in clearance. And I don't think if you're going to be charging over $100 for a vehicle, that in maybe 3-4 months down the road, you're going to find it at $30 in the Walmart clearance or at Target also. So I think if you want to continue the line, continue having a standard for people ordering these things, you need to have them as Hasbro Pulse exclusive. I know that's not going to please my American collectors, but I want to see the line go on as long as it's possible, and I don't want to see Hasbro pulling the plug on it and saying, well, we're not making enough money out of this line, and we're pulling the plug on it. Anyway, let's get back to some more Hasbro Pulse exclusive, who was going up on the 26th. And yeah, this is a pretty bad set. I've already given you my thoughts about it. So I guess this is going to be about around $90 or something like that, based on what was previously out. So yeah, not the best set. Interesting idea, but poorly executed. So let's talk about the name reveals only. So of course, Lenny is leaving us with some more Dreadnoks. We all knew that Lenny was giving us a lot of love for Cobra and not much for G.I. Joe. So it tells you where his allegiance are. So he is Hail Cobra, or Cobra La. La 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 la, if you want to put it like that. It does sound extremely silly, and you will understand that they're doing a celebration for their 40th anniversary. I'm getting a bit above. So Flatline, new character for the Dreadnoks. I don't mind bringing in some of the newer stuff, but if you could finish already some of the older stuff, I guess a lot of fans would be happy about it. Then we had Hardball, who dropped as a name. Again, not my favorite character. I did like it because of the grenade launcher, but I guess I would have liked to see Hidden One is already out, but I wanted to see Muskrat, Spearhead, or Repeater before any of these, because I'm more based on the military line, and somebody dressed up all in white with a white shirt sticking out like a sore thumb in the battlefield, this is not going to work. Even if they were joking about the grenades over there, it shows them that they don't really understand how they work. There's a timer on those, and if they're not activated, fired, and they don't go to a certain distance, it doesn't work. So anyway, enough about military and weapon technology. Let's go into some of the army builders that's going to be coming out also in this way. We have Heat Viper. We're going to have some Ninja Force, so yeah, that's going to be Target exclusive for North America, and of course maybe Toys R Us in Canada, but they seem to be doing pretty bad, so I don't know how it's going to look out. Another character who the Classified series is giving a bit better love than what Hasbro gave it. It is logic that Jinx would be part of the Ninja Force, so I'm kind of curious to see what kind of masks they are going to get, because currently right now all of these characters got some masks on them, especially if you look at Dojo, and of course what is his name, Scarlet, they get masks. So a lot of these characters are going to get some. So let's see what they're going to be doing. Then afterwards, we're going to have some kind of shipwreck who's going to be inspired by this. Personally, I think this figure is going to look more like the Rugged Duke, going to look like a more realistic tier 1 operator, and it's going to be based on shipwreck. Again, this is me speculating, but from the description and the way this figure looks, it seems logic that it's going to be in the looks of Rugged Duke, who was basically where Hasbro was going at the beginning, and I don't understand why for they course corrected and went into space Nerf guns and all of this kind of stuff. So, of course, you know me, you know my love for the October Guards, and there seems to be expanding for this line, and the first one they decided to do is Diana. So yes, this is something that I'm looking really forward to. I hope we are going to see the other figures and also get a Red Star, a Big Bear, because those characters were also added to the Real American Hero line. Didn't always pop up in the comics, but it would have been nice to get them. Also, BMAC was talking about it, that they're going to be expanding their international line of groups. So I guess we're going to be getting some Action Force. Well, I do hope we are getting some Action Force. Then we're going to move on to the 40th anniversary of G.I. Joe, the movie. And BMAC said, well, we're going to be making 9 retro figures, all the figures that will be coming out in 2027 would be for the movie, but currently we have one coming out, going up for pre-order, and that's Lieutenant Falcon. So, BMAC, yeah, well, you have 10. Or except if you're going to make the retro Falcon look like the real retro Falcon it should have been. Then, of course, we have the G.I. Joe Thunder Machine coming out in 2027. So yeah, this looks kind of interesting. Some people are not very happy with the design, don't like this kind of narrow front part about it. Again, it would be interesting to know on which kind of car it's based on. And of course, it could be logical if we take that some of the starts are thinner in front and gets larger in the back, because it's all bits and pieces put together to create this car. So kind of curious. We should be getting more news and more real look at this vehicle at the Comic-Con of New York. So that's going to be interesting to see. And of course, this is going to be 2027. They didn't talk it as about as a HasLab for 2027. So this does mean it could be a regular line, and then this does confirm me that exactly what I was saying about how Hasbro put themselves in a corner, and they should have not gone with certain vehicles as HasLab vehicles. So yeah, I guess this is going to come as a good welcome. Or is it going to be a HasLab? But I don't think so. I think this is going to be what we're going to expect. Any vehicle about this size or smaller is going to be in the general line, and if Hasbro are smart, they're not going to make it available in all shops and should keep it as a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. The only letdown for now, anyway, it looks like it's not going to be coming with Thrasher. So I don't know which Dreadnought they're going to be putting with the Thunder Machine. But I mean, if you're coming in with the Thunder Machine and you're not putting Dreadnought Thrasher with it, it does not make sense. Anyway, this is the last one I have for the G.I. Joe line, and this is going to put an end to my episode 45 of This Week in Action Figure News, special San Diego Comic-Con. Anyway, let me know, what are you interested in and everything that was presented? Are you pre-ordering? Do you also have tons of stuff going up for 2027 in FlexPay? How are you going to manage all of that, or are you going to hold back? Let me know in the comment section. Same goes for G.I. Joe. Are you picking up any of these, or are you going to sit back and hopefully wait for some of these to go in clearance? Let me know in the comment section, and let's start a conversation around our favorite hobby. So, that's going to be it for episode 45 of This Week in Action Figure News. If you like this kind of videos, please leave a like, share, comment in the section. If you have any suggestions, you can also leave them in the comment section. If you want to go and check out my Facebook page, Instagram page, the links are in the description. Of course, if you're going to order anything from Sideshow, I also have an affiliated link. It helps out the channel, and you support the channel that you like, and of course you do not need to pay anything it's using the promo from Sideshow to get some extra points who goes towards figures that I will be reviewing. So if you use the link, thank you so much for using it and supporting the channel. And like always, until then, I hope you have a fantastic day, of course, and I hope you have a fantastic Sunday if you're watching this on Sunday, and of course, otherwise have a fantastic day, like I said, if it's on any other day of the week, and of course, I will see you in my next video. Bye!